Fig fam, I covered this in the spring. A Paradiso fig that I cut down to the ground, 8 inches tall. This piece here is probably 9 feet tall. It hasn't produced a lot of fruit, but it's produced a lot of growth. I'm getting it established for next year. This is regenerative pruning. If you have an established root system in a sunny spot and it's not growing the way you want, I had a lot of dieback on the main trunk, and so I said, let's take it all the way down to the ground. So regenerative pruning tells the tree to push out a lot of new growth. Not necessarily fruit. Now it's setting fruit, but it's a little late in the season, right? We may not get there. Here in Wilmington, I can get figs probably to the beginning of November, and that's pushing it. You're worried your tree isn't doing well, and it's established 2-3 years. Try lopping it down to the ground. Now it's kind of grown in a bush form. What I'm going to do is I'm going to isolate this branch. This is all new growth, guys. Look how thick it is. All new growth. Isolate that branch and prune it. And every node here will shoot out new branches with the ideal goal. The Paradiso was damaged, but you can kind of see it branched out. The ideal goal of creating trees like this. I call the Dame Blanc. I call the Dame Noir. My Genovese Nero. Peter's Honey. And Tarama with the main trunk, scaffolding branches, and then I call them tertiary branches because it's just the third stage of branching after that. And then you can have a mature tree that's 7-8 feet tall. But if they're not growing the way you want, I did the same thing with Smith. So you can see Smith, cut it down to the ground. And I'm going to isolate a main branch, probably this one, and try to go from there. Anyway, Fig fam, I wanted to recap because we talked about the spring, how I had cut it down to the ground, and if anyone had concerns about doing such a thing with an established tree, chop it down to the ground, it will send out all these new buds. New growth, new growth, new growth. Come around the corner here, all of this new growth. And I can attest, and I can promise you, that this tree by September, it's March 9th, by September, will take up some entire space. This is the result. Cheers, guys. Holler if you have questions.